Sorry guys, I came on a little late today again, but yesterday I had some sound issues with my older videos, and my video from yesterday, it didn't broadcast. So yeah, there's that. My video did not have sound yesterday, but I got sound today. Remember, I'm working on a Mac M1. These joints are they beta-ish, so but it's a vibe, yo. We back on. Please do not let that deter you. deter. Do not let that deter you from joining my broadcast when you see it. Like, subscribe, and invite your friends and your peoples. You know what I mean? So we're gonna continue. Last night, while I was offline, I did a few more tweaks to this to the point where I did the whole thing. I took the background out. Remember, what I'm trying to do is give myself a good black and white to work with. So when I color it, and then eventually when I take it into Adobe Illustrator, when I vector it, a good rule of thumb when you're vectoring, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of it within the hour. When you're vectoring, it's really tough to do detail lines, but it's even harder when you don't. First of all, when you do have colors already introduced to it, which you shouldn't, and then on top of that, you know what I mean? With all the details in the line not crisp and clear. There's a lot of things you could do to shortcut it. But so today what I'm gonna be working on is the finer details. So I copied most of it where I don't need the background. So now I'm gonna do more details. If you see motion blur ish when I move my hands and stuff like that, I'm still working on the color scheme with this newer camera that I have. But I have a potential something today to display. I'm trying to get my iPad visible on this too. Share, please share this to others so they can join as well. I'm trying to copy this right now. Don't come to my page if you expect 1000% professionalism. You're not gonna get it not because I don't want to, because everything that can happen will happen. And look, again, on Facebook, this joint is not coming up on Facebook. So Facebook is very selfish. Facebook only wants to broadcast what they want to broadcast. They want you to broadcast only when they're the only ones. So I'm doing multiple casts right now. I'm on Twitch as well as I'm supposed to be on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, but now I'm only on YouTube and Twitch, which is fine. That's cool. I still cannot see the chats. I tried all day yesterday. So if you guys do not, oh shit, I'm a freaking moron. The chats are right here. Do not call me if you got IT problems. Apparently, I do not know how to work with that. That's crazy. I didn't see the chat. So the chat's alive. Stream chat, read only. All right, that's cool. Facebook is not allowing it. So guys, send me messages so I could check and see if I see your messages or not. I let my wife know too that this thing is popping. Again, I'm not being disrespectful or rude. I am trying to see if my tweet, if it tweeted that I'm on, because that's supposed to work too. It didn't work the last time, but yeah, shoot, it worked. It's working, and it still says Call of Duty. Let me change this name here real quick. Let me see if that. This is still a test, but still, it shouldn't say Call of Duty. What the hell? Enter your stream title. What the hell? But you know something? It's becoming more and more. Uh, I can hear what I'm saying a lot better now. Less delay. Freestyle art. Oh, what in the hell? Here I'm gonna. It still says game interaction on, so I gotta change a few things on Twitch, I guess. Update. All right, let's do that for now. It's all right. It's cool. So our YouTube title's gonna stay the same again for today. Last time, hopefully we'll be able to fix this. It'll change. I don't know. Facebook, you're out of here though. All right, I'm starting. Um, I hope y'all can hear the little lullaby music in the background. Bear with me. Like I said, I'm still learning this whole setup, even though I've tried like a million times. Yes, all right, it's working. All right, so let's start. Let's start with trying to see. Y'all can see my desk right now. I'm trying, man. Every day I come here, I do something different. So I went to Best Buy. I'm gonna tell you my story about Best Buy. I'm gonna omit some of the shit. I mean, some of the stuff that I said that was off the wall. I bought the adapter. The adapter I wanted to get was the Apple adapter, but the young lady assured me that Best Buy does not sell that adapter. Even though, yo, why my hand looks so ashy on screen? I swear to you, my hands is not this ashy. At least y'all know I wash my hands. So I went to Best Buy and I pulled out the adapter for the yeah, I see you, baby. I see you. Cool. Good, thank you. So I went to go buy the regular adapter, the Mac adapter, right? The Apple joint. I pulled the old one for the older, but my iPad is the 2019 one. So now I go in there to get that one. I pulled the older one from the 2018 and under, and the girl goes, "Oh, we don't sell these adapters." I say, "Yo, what's it?" You know, basically like, "What's in my hand though?" But then I tell her the one that I wanted because she cut me off. I'm like, and this is Best Buy. Best Buy has always been off the wall when it comes to customer service. But anyway, long story short, even the story's gonna still be long if I'm telling it. The adapter that I got ended up being cheaper, which all right, I respect that. But the girl was nasty. I should have actually not gone to her. I should have went to somebody else. But she was super nasty though, for real. But baby, stay on, man. So I'm gonna switch. All right. So first camera angle, boom, we got this one. And now let's see if you guys can see this one. Yo, look at that, man. The one thing that did work. All right, let me make sure I ain't got nothing filthy on this. I was just joking. I get to see. All right, so there you go. This is my iPad. This is where I do 95% of my stuff. Sometimes I do finished work that I know I'm not posting anywhere. Like this right here. I have this on my Instagram as my logo, but I ain't really have no need for it. I just did it just to do it. Just to keep my hands loose. I have this one I was working on with a client for a client. See the details. It's kind of hard to see the details up close because you won't. That's the only thing. It's not zooming in. Nah, it's not zooming in. This is the actual one with the details in it and everything, but you can't see it. I mean, it's as good as it's gonna get, right? We can't be mad at it. So we got that. I eventually gonna have to figure out how to give this screen, its own thing, which I know how to do it, but I'm not gonna do it. You know what? Why not? Why not though, right? Like, you guys are here supporting me. Why can't I support? I can't be selfish. So sticking to the subject because my wife told me that I gotta stick to the subject. I be rambling, so I think I could share with you guys how I do my stream before I actually get to the business at hand. I got an hour. You know what I'm saying, I need material. So this is how I share my stream. There's a program here called Streamlabs, right? And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add what they call a scene, and the scene is basically saying what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna name the scene. You guys can't see it just yet because I didn't do it. I'm doing it on the fly. I'm gonna name this scene iPad, but iPad setup, right? And then I'm gonna name another. I'm gonna do another scene. The thing is, I use this thing called studio mode where I can see my setup before it comes out, but you guys is gonna continuously see this one here. So right now we're talking about Streamlabs for OBS on the Mac M1. But tonight when I go live on when I'm gaming, I'm probably gonna show how I do it on the PC because I have a Mac and I have a PC. So here I'm gonna put second display. So now you'll get to see what I see. So I have basically like a teleprompt screen, but it's not, it's a second monitor. And I use that to basically dictate what I see or what you guys see here, right? So I'm giving you a little tutorial. So now I'm gonna start off first with the second display. So I want you guys to see what I'm gonna do. So second display, I'm gonna do something called add a source. The source, all it means is I'm adding the source to what you guys are gonna see. The source of what I wanna display. So that's what that means, okay? So I'm gonna go to, I want it to be a display capture, which is my monitor. And now I have two options. I could do screen one, screen two. I'm actually gonna start from a new device. I'm gonna put display 2. I'm actually gonna put display 12 because I have a lot of sources, right? And now I'm gonna choose my second monitor. It's gonna look really, it's gonna look like very inceptionally, because like Inception, because and look, I'm gonna switch it over now. So you guys are now gonna see my second monitor. Again, I promise you guys, there's a point to why I'm doing this. I want anybody who wants to start off their channels and do all this type of stuff. It looks mad difficult. If you take the time to listen to other people who do it, it's not as hard as you might think it is. And a lot of you guys have a lot of stuff to offer, and it could help others. So I'm gonna do my part and show y'all. So now there's a button up here called transition, which you will see once I do it. It will transition to what you guys are now going to see. So boom, there you go. Right? So now that's what you guys see. You guys see my screen that is transitioned and is showing you guys Streamlabs from OBS on my second monitor, right? So now I want to show you guys my iPad setup. I'll show you how you do it. Basically the same way I just showed you I talked you through the display. I'm going to talk you through how to get your iPad to show. Same concept, right? So here's the scenes I was talking about. Here on this side, well, this way I have mine set up. I don't know if it comes like that for everybody else. If you hit the plus sign, it says add new scene. The scene, remember, is whatever you want people to see at the moment. So now that I want you guys, let's make, for instance, I just typed it, add a new scene. I typed in a name for it. The name is iPad setup. So now we're at the iPad setup. This is what I see on my studio monitor right here, the studio setup. And once I hit transition, it'll show you guys what I want you to see. So now that I have that up here, I hit source. As I was saying before, press that source button. And instead of hitting display capture, because I'm no longer wanting to capture a display, I'm no longer wanting to do any of these other things, I want to do video capture, video device capture. So I hit this button. I hit that button, it'll bring up all my video device captures. But just for the sake of you guys understanding how it works, I'm gonna add a new source, right? And I'm gonna name that iPad capture. So from now on, whenever I want to set up something extra with my iPad capture, it's gonna come up as one of my video sources. I hit add, right? And it's gonna ask me which device do I want. I only have, I don't use the Epoch Cam now. For now, I will use it soon. The OBS virtual camera I don't have. So the only one that I do use is something called the Blackmagic Design. You can use anything. You can use, shoot, I forgot. You can use a capture card. You can use any of these capture cards that are out there. So Elgato, you can use the Elgato HD capture card, any of the things that you have. And for me, I have a very expensive one. Mine is called the ATM Mini. It's not very expensive, but it's definitely more expensive than the games capture cards. It's called the ATM Mini, and it's by Blackmagic. So you hit Blackmagic Design, boom, there you go. Now I'm gonna hit done. Okay, actually, because my iPad can do like 1080p and whatever, I can actually bump this up. I can even put it to high. But for the sake of streaming, I'm not gonna do that. I don't recommend you do it either. So now you see, this is the screen that I have. What you're seeing, like I said, it's kind of Inception. What you're seeing now is, you're seeing this because I'm showing it to you. I'm showing you the screen. Technically, normally when I'm doing this, you never see this screen here. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna make this bigger. Boom. So now, this is how I want you guys to see my screen. I hit transition. There you go. So now I want to go back to my old setup. Let's just say I want to go back to my old setup. But before I even do that, take you guys on a guided tour of some of my favorite pieces. I did this, again, there's no reason for it. I just did this image because I kind of wanted to get into just doing comic book characters and in my style. So this is my style right here, and I did Aqualad. The lettering, pay no attention to it because it sucks, right? But yeah, these are just all for me, and I throw them up on Instagram because they're very quick, very fast, not much details into it. I just do it just for fun. Here's what you guys saw, and I did most of this. I did all of it on my iPad, so you can see that any detail or anything like that, whatever it is, I kind of didn't put too much into it because at first it was only supposed to be a black and white, and I was going to use that just to put it into my PC and then finish it from there. But I had fun, so I just kept going. And that's the thing with art. There's no rules, no nothing. Here's a sketch. This is the black and white that I did for a client. He just gave me the approval today. He also told me it's okay for me to show, so that's why I'm showing it. So I did a quick sketch, very quick sketch, and I threw it on here. And now later on this week, I'm gonna put it in there and I'm gonna finish it off. Here is a finished, complete work that I do love, I do like, and I'm gonna actually make it a sticker soon. And this is that's the name I gave it. Yeah, so this is another piece that I did. You guys can see I am obsessed with the gauge earrings. I used to have gauge. Fun fact, my wife, she met me, did not like them. So it was either the gauge or my wife. I chose my wife, obviously. No, she didn't give me an ultimatum. I knew it wasn't something she liked. So. You know what I'm saying? Trying to impress your woman, me. All right, so here's more pieces. Also, I don't think it's showing you guys. Yeah, it's not showing you guys. All right, so it won't show you guys the piece. So again, a lot of these images is to keep my hands busy, especially days that I don't want to draw. This was supposed to be a logo for one of my homeboys, and he eventually told me he didn't like it. So I went ahead, excuse me. I went ahead and just play with it, play with the idea. This is a lot, by the way. I do not like to show a lot of my unfinished work and stuff like that to other people, but you know, you got to learn how to be like that. but I've learned to share, even if it's again, the day that I did this image right here, I really was not in the mood to draw. I don't like it either still, but I like the fact that I finished it, which is a lot. Okay? Let me see another one here that I'd like to show you guys. Here's another one. Had fun doing it. It's not going anywhere. It's not for anyone. I just had fun doing it, and we were watching a movie. I'll never forget it, and I just finished it that day. And I do a lot of these again to keep my style moving and to keep my hands going because I don't want to draw half the time when I have to draw. You know, when I don't have to draw, man, I could be at work or in school when I was in school. When I was in school, I drew all the time, but that's because I was being defiant. You know, there's another one. This is one Kiki. But I don't know the lyrics of it. But this is when that was famous, and I just drew this just to draw it. No meaning behind it, but I will make a sticker out of it though, because I had fun doing it. So some of these, I'm not even gonna vector them. I'm just gonna make stickers out of them, see what happens. Boom. This is Mad Lib. A lot of you guys may not know who Mad Lib is. Maybe y'all do know who he is, but he's a really famous producer from California. I really wanted to draw Mad Lib. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I buckled down that day and I drew it. That's it. No stories behind it. Nobody hired me to do it. This is my style. Another one. I drew this on a piece of loose leaf paper. You can see the loose leaf. I kept it in the image, and I just started playing with it digitally. I have the actual. So one of these days, I'll show you guys my pencil, my books that has my art books that have my pencil work in it. Digital art has not been my thing. I got into it because I started seeing that a lot of people were paying a lot more for digital artwork. Yes, I am a businessman. I do need to, feed my family. So I had to learn digital art. And I'm still learning digital art. You'll see it. I want people who follow me to be comfortable, to feel comfortable, knowing that I don't know all the answers and I am nowhere near an expert in digital artwork, but I still put myself out there. I will still continue to do it because I've seen guys who are great now, but I've seen their work before, and their work before sucked, but in a good way. It sucked, and then it taught them how to become good because they kept practicing. If you know me, you know that I like Cause, so I did my own version of Cause. I will make a sticker out of this as well and add it in the sticker pack, but I can't make it the main sticker because Cause is trademark. I don't want to step in the, I don't want to step in no law issues with Cause. So I'm just gonna add it to a sticker pack once I start getting more stickers and stuff. Here was the first Buddha that I did. I didn't like it. I thought it looked bad, and so, but I kept it anyway because I wanted to keep the idea, and I did keep the idea. Move on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that I do that I don't like it doesn't mean I'm gonna get rid of it right away. I might be able to come up with an idea, and that's the thing. Having ideas is good because it gives you material for a live session, material for other things. My first Mario that I did digitally that I really liked, and I'm gonna probably make a sticker out of this one. And yeah, I have to clean a lot of it up, but this was my first Mario, and I like it. When you start developing your own style, I'm 47 years old, and I started developing my style literally in my 30s, But I always drew, but I didn't. I mean, people say I had a style even then. People actually said that I digressed. I don't know if that's, I see again, check me on my words. I might be saying the wrong thing, but I think the word is digress. I'm not sure. But I went back. Instead of progressing, I digress. I think I'm using it wrong. But I know when you say I digress, whatever. Anyway, this is an image that I came up with just because I was just sitting around the house and I just wanted to draw. And I drew. Again, keep your work because, now this one I'm about to show you guys. Understand, I was on the bus to work, and the bus is a long ride. It's like an hour and change from New Jersey to New York. And I just started drawing, and I'm using this thing called symmetry, which my friend told me, be careful with symmetry because you could mess up. Do not judge me. Boom. Right? It wasn't until later on that I realized, and I try to fix it, that the middle finger that I put here was done poorly. Now you guys can't see all the details, and mark my words, I will fix it where you guys can see everything the way you're supposed to see it. Right now, I'm just happy that you guys were able to see my iPad. But man, I went in on this. I was drawing, I was having a good time and everything, and finally somebody pointed out, somebody who didn't feel sorry for me at all. Somebody was like, "Yo, dude, your hand gestures is wrong," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Oh shit." It happens sometimes. You get so wrapped up into your artwork. Here's another one that I was on a bus and I started drawing it, and I liked it. I did, and I still do, but I think it's a bit confusing, and it is a girl, but you notice what you notice. You notice the things that you do wrong. That's okay. Again, like I said, that's important for you to do as an artist, to know where you went wrong, and understand that it's way okay because it's your stuff. Killer Mike. I don't know how many of you guys know who Killer Mike is, but this is my version, my rendition of Killer Mike. I showed it to him. He liked it. The dude is very. If you go, I say I showed it to him like he's my homeboy. In technically he is my homeboy, and he's your homeboy too, because you go on Instagram and you talk to the dude, and he's mad humble. He'll talk right back to you. So, and he's already one of my favorites, but he became even more a favorite. Here's another joint that I did. I'm gonna make this a sticker again. My style has different versions to it, and I'm still developing it. I'm in my 40s. One of my favorite artists, I can never say his name correctly, so I will not butcher it, but look up Brother Man, right? And this dude's artwork is bananas. And I remember him doing a live on Facebook once, and the dude was talking about how he was just developing his style. First of all, when you see him, you will not believe he's 50 anything. He's a 50-something-year-old man, and he was describing how he was still learning, and it really made me feel confident that I've not even scratched the surface on how good I can be if I draw daily. I'm just like everybody else. This one, I hated it so much, and sometimes when I see it, I hate it still, but I like it as well. So I'm gonna do my little work here and there and see how I can clean this up and make it look good. And it's gonna be a goddamn thing. So excuse my French, but I'm passionate. I'm passionate about stuff. Here it's gonna be a sticker right here, what I'm about to show you guys, and I love it. One of my favorite pieces that I did, and I wasn't even trying to do it. That's how amazing it was. And because of this, I'm trying to do a series on the Avengers, and it's called Dead. I'm Dead. Avengers basically looking like they're dead. See, I'm zooming in, but you guys can't see it. So I started with what's her name? I'm saying what's her name because for some stupid reason I'm forgetting her name. I did this for somebody who had asked me to do some client work for them, and they liked it, but they just didn't want it. She liked it all the way, man. Here we go. Luigi. It's me, Luigi. I did Luigi just because. No reason, no nothing, just did my version of Luigi. I guess I'm going through a lot of my shit that I didn't think I was going to be going through for you guys. Here's one of my most disappointing digital paintings. It's a Frida Kahlo, one of my favorite artists. The only reason why she's not number one is because Charles W. White takes my number one spot. And after that, her husband barely beats her, which is Diego Rivera. He's my second, and like tie. I don't even want to call her my third. Tie with him is Frida. Well, if you talk about personalities, though, Frida got them both beat. She's my number one. I love Frida. Anything Frida, you name it. You got stickers of Frida. You got a shirt that has Frida. I love it. Another client work that I did. Very simple, but she loved it. So this is how I started it, right? You guys can see. Here, let me see if I can do time lapse. Let's see if it comes out. Nah, it's not showing it. That's crazy. I want to show it. It's a time lapse, mother trucker. Yeah, it won't show you guys the time lapse. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. And kind of basically is where it left off right here. She liked it, but she didn't need to use it at the moment. That's okay. That's cool. You know, she still did what she was supposed to do for compensation. So we good money. Here's another one of my favorite. It's not the best, but I like it. I just like because it's one of the first that I did with color. If you know me, I do black and white, but because I need to get better, I did this. I'm gonna work on it again to make it better. Client work right here. He loved it. It's personal for himself. That's it. Some clients won't allow me to show their stuff, so I don't, out of respect. There's another Mario I did. You guys already know I'm a fan of Mario. Same problem with the middle finger, by the way. It looks like it's like another finger. So I'm gonna redo it. Let's see. Monkey. This is for a client. Same client I was doing. So he's doing a series on animals and everything. So here's my monkey. And that I did in my style. And I'm happy with it. Very happy with it. And here's another monkey. That's part of that series. Same client. My style. Again. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get down to it, when you give me here's how the process works. This is how I do all my I look for my references. I put my reference up. So sometimes when you guys see me drawing, do not believe for a second I don't use references, because I do. I use a lot of references. Now, before for some reason, my stubbornness would not allow me to. And let me tell you something. Your stubbornness, this is my dude, MF Doom. I did the mask, and I'm gonna do a mask only MF Doom. That's what I'm working on. But you're always working on something as an artist. There's always a lot of stuff. I'm not showing you guys a lot of things here because some of these things I'm really super not proud of, and it's not because I think it's because I think they're whack. That is what it is. I think they're whack. I just randomly did this when I first started, just trying to see if I could come up with a concept. It was supposed to actually be me, and it came out not looking like me. Another one of my many styles, but it's still my style. I like it. I personally like it. A lot of people I've shown this to didn't like it, but that's okay. Again, you can have your favorites of your own work that no one will understand why you like it, and sometimes you won't understand why you like it, but that's okay. That's cool. So today, I guess I'm just showing you guys a lot of my stuff. That's on my iPad. That's not stuff that I've done. That's not all the things that I've done, but these are what I have on my iPad. And I think that's it. I don't have anything. Well, here's another one. Again, I like it because of the fade I did with his hair. I don't dislike it. I don't love it. It's just something that I did. I tried something new. Trying something new is scary. I understand. I'm trying something new now with you guys. Like, here's something that I'm working on right now. You guys, it won't, for some reason, it won't show you guys my reference, but it's a reference picture that's here of the young lady, and I'm trying to get it into my style. So I don't just do cartoon, but cartoon is what is my bread and butter. Cartoon is what I've done the most, so that's what I show the most. So now I showed you guys this. I'm going to come back here, right? And I have two lives. I got this live right here where it doesn't show me at all. I have desktop and device. I have normal, and you know what? I forgot which one it is. So let's see. We'll learn together. I hit transition. That's what you guys see. Oh shoot! It is it. It's it. Sorry. So my setup is mad complicated over here. So now I'm gonna fade into. Hold on, boss. All right, hold on. Let's see. Okay, so I did lose my camera. I lost my camera. For some reason, it's not picking it up, and I think it's maybe because I have my display capture. This is, you know, you kind of live and learn. So my display. Yeah. So for whatever reason, it's not flicking over. Let's see if it still has my. Oh, there you go. This is it. It's this one. Is my live iPad setup? Nope. It's not that either. It should be this because I have it. I have the capture there too. So you see how difficult it can be sometimes. This is only my first week of official live sessions. So I apologize. Um, let's see. My wife is giving me words of encouragement. I appreciate it. So here I'm in live. Hold on. So it should show it. So it's not showing it, and I'm not sure why it's not doing it. Maybe because it's using it on this side. So I'm gonna unplug my iPad and see if it then recognizes it. So we're doing this on the fly, man. You guys are here with me, and we're figuring it out. Yeah. So right now it's just not picking it up for whatever reason. Making this bigger because just in case I'm not seeing it on my screen, but I'm not seeing it at all. So here's what I'm gonna do. Just for this one, I'm gonna go here. So again, you guys might learn this from that. I'm going to try to flip it over here one more time, moving back and forth, just double checking here on this side before I change anything. All right, it's not working. But if I go here, it's here, and look, it's stuck between transitions. So you know what we're gonna do? I got an idea. Since it's showing me on this side, I am going to, so you guys are watching, add a display capture. Hit that twice. Remember, I named it, so I told you I had a few display captures, but again, just because no, I don't need to, because you guys know. So I'm going to put display capture. Hit add source. There you go. Now it should. Oh, minimize this a little bit. Bring this down. And this is what I do actually. I do a lot of AV work at my job, audio visual work. But it's not. It's believe it or not, for me, I work better when things are more complicated. But when they're easier, for some reason, my brain doesn't register it. It's like I already decided to go the harder route. So for the last bit of this live session, I'm gonna do a few tweakings on this, but I'll be honest with you, I'm probably gonna do a lot more off camera. But there's one image here that I am extremely proud of. But I'm not gonna show it today because I'm working on it still, and I'm adding more details to it than I'm supposed to. So once I'm done with it, I promise next week, you know, because today's my last day of the week. Sorry, or something. But I'm going to next week, Monday, I'll probably have done a few more things to it. And I'll show it to you guys. It was on my iPad, and I already had a little bit of an issue with the iPad already just now. That's my first time, by the way, doing the iPad setup. So I did my black and white here. The majority of the work is done already. Remember that you can always, the greatest things about doing digital work is you can always erase, you can always go back. Command R, or for me it's Option Z. Option Z is my best friend because then I get to say I just erased. I hit Option Z, boom, erasing is back. Also, another great thing is I have a lot of shortcuts and a lot of items here off camera that I use for shortcuts. But my main is this remote control that came with my Wacom tablet, and I leave it here and I work with it there. So I'll show you how, since this is my last day of this week, I am going to be on tonight, 8 o'clock gaming, but line weight, and I want to show you guys my line weight because I think that a lot of people tell me that they like my line work and they want to know how I do it. Well, it's mad simple, right? And I learned this from tons of artists. One of the artists that I learned this from, I want to give him full credit for it. His name is Beastwork, and I just most recently started doing line work similar to his style. And again, it's okay. You're learning. Sometimes even learning, your stuff ends up looking like other people's things, and it is discouraging. For me, it is. A lot of people, they don't care. For me, sometimes it is discouraging though because I don't want my stuff to look like anybody else, and I've spent so much time developing my own style. But there's techniques within your style that it might be your style, but for it to get better, you have to kind of learn certain techniques. And with cartooning, there was a certain style that I always wanted, but I could never get it out because I didn't know how to really do it. I've tried it and I practiced it, and it never came out right. And the guy that I want to give full credit to that's helped me engage with my line work better, I'm gonna show you how I do it. This dude, his name is Beastwork. Instagram, I don't know if that even, Beast Rec, sorry. Beast Rec. And I will start leaving links to things that I'm talking about on my on these live sessions. But the problem is that I'm working so hard on trying to get you guys these sessions. And sometimes it's not even that I don't want to do it. I'm spending most of the time working on this, the technical stuff in the background. But his line work style is mad ill. And I used to spend a lot of time just putting in details and everything, and I still do. I love my details. Like right now, I'm not even done. I did the black and white here, but there's tattoos that he has. I'm gonna add the tattoos on a separate layer, right? But for the time being, just because I want to show you guys, I'll show you how I get my lines to be super quick. First thing I do, this is the thing, another thing I learned from one of my good friends. His name is Gene Augustus. I probably said his last name incorrectly. One of my really, really good dear friends. And you don't go around calling your friend somebody's last name. If you do, you're a weirdo. He told me, he taught me a few things. Number one, don't color until you're ready, which I used to do all the time because I was so ready to attack. But one of the best things that he taught me, I hope he ain't watching because this guy gets a big head fast. Pause. You gotta zoom in. You gotta zoom. Whatever you're doing digitally, zoom in. Remember, when you're using a pencil and a pad, when you're using a artboard, when you're using a painting, whatever, a canvas, whatever it is that you're using, you physically can look into it. And I do it all the time. I'm always looking closely at some of my stuff. Here's the same thing. It doesn't change just because you're doing it digitally. So first thing you want to do is test your brush. The brush, obviously, because I zoomed in, is going to be too big. So here I go over to my control and I make this smaller. I don't need it to be that big. And then I get into the images. So right now I already did it on the top side. I already did it. I already thickened the lines a little bit. And I do it with intention. That no one's taught me. That I learned. You do it with intention. When you do your first base lines that you do, that's yours. That's yours to give you a rhythm. Again, this is, I want to preface this. I'm not an art teacher. I'm self-taught. But these are the things that I learned. These are the things that I've observed, right? So I'm just passing on to you guys what I've observed. So here, I kind of move into the angle that I want to do it at. I get it closer. Yep, just like this close. As you can see, it changes the size of my brush. No problem. Here, I have to actually make a shortcut. I had a shortcut to erase, Control Z, but so now I go right next to it. I go right next to my image and I give it another line. That's the technique. Now see how it got thicker? I don't want that because the thickness part is already there technically and I'm just accentuating it. That I know I mean. Accentuating. So here's what I do. When I say here's what I do, literally I just thought about it just now. You add another layer, right? And then you now do what you intend to do. So, believe it or not, my brush is still a little bit numb. Bring it down here. There you go. With intention, I am now doing my little swatch effect, and I am building, or I'm hovering another layer right above the one that I have. But again, with intention. I'm doing this like with intentions for it to be neat, to clean up my old line, but also to thicken up my old line just a little bit. Now, I did I changed the transparency, the opacity on this for a reason. I want to get this stuff as clean as I can. I don't know why the hell I'm talking about this, but as clean as I can so I can give it like little anchors and points that I want. Again, with intention. Everything I'm doing here I have a reason. I want to give this direction just a pointer. So now when I see what I like, I come in here. I'm only showing you guys this. Oops, I made a mistake. So what I'm gonna do? Again, I had a whole bunch of shortcuts because I changed my whole setup. Now I just saw the shortcut is Command Y. So your shortcuts always come up. All right. So now I go back into it. Mind you guys, I literally started doing digital work about 4 or 5 years ago. Ever since before that, I am 100% a physical material guy. Again, man, if you come here to learn, you come here wanting to learn technical terms. Listen, you can still. I still want you to come here. Remember something. It'll be my technical terms, not the actual. I'll go to your art teacher and be like, yeah, because you was talking about bass line. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about bass lines. I just probably be like, yo, there is such thing as bass line, but what the hell you describing is not it. Don't send your art teacher my way, bro. I already gave you a disclaimer. So now I added intentionally, I added some anchors. Another technical term to come out of my. I'm gonna write a book. Technical terms according to the I don't mind going over my images sometimes over and over and over again. To you might say yourself, shit, this dude does one more version of the same thing, because it's giving me an eye to see things that I may have not seen the first go around, because I was so desperate as an artist. And if you're watching this, 95% of the time, people who watch these channels and everything is because they either want to get into it or they're already into it and they want to learn other things. For me, I have to get my work out as soon as it hits my head, because just as quickly as it came to me in a dream, whatever it may be, it's gonna leave me, and I'll forget it. Look at that right now. Like sometimes I could be telling you, yo, my favorite artist is, and I'm like, oh shit, how did I forget? You feel like a intruder, not intruder, imposter. Sorry. You feel like an imposter. Like, damn, son. Like, how do I not know my favorite? But it happens, especially somebody like me. Like, my memory can be very short-termish. I have the right intentions, but it doesn't come up. I'm hashtag, if you believe it, hashtag dude from a living color. Just put hashtag dude from a living color. I feel like the character that Damon Wayans portrayed when he came out of prison or when he was in prison, he was using all them hard words like the lubricant of the prolification. Because sometimes I just use words, and I'll be honest with you, I'm giving myself a hard time, but 95% of the time I am correct in the usage. But when I know I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong. And just a while ago when I was using that word, I forgot what word it was. I definitely was using it wrong. I know I was. But I like the way it sounded. It went with my conversation. I remember I was in high school. I learned the word prolific, and when I learned the word prolific, I was so happy. I just wanted to use it. Like the English language is very incredible to me, but I think it's incredible to me for different reasons. I speak 3 languages. I speak French, I speak Creole, and I speak English. And so to translate those words in my head to my first language, which was French, and the second language, I think I'm wrong with that. My first language that I used actively was French. But my first language was Creole. Because that's what my parents spoke to me in the house. They did try to intentionally speak, and I'm using that word intentional a lot, but I mean, shit, I can't. That's the word I'm using. I need to use. The first, they intentionally spoke to us in English because they wanted us to have a heads up. My parents thought very, very strategically, because I don't want to say intentional again, on how their kids were gonna. So I went to private school. So a lot of people be like, "Oh man, you speak proper English." Like no one could tell I'm from New York because I speak so proper and I speak proper English. Which, by the way, I don't think I speak proper English at all. I think that like I articulate myself better because I had to also go to ESL classes. English is a second language, and because my English was good, like I could talk normal like I'm talking now, but I had such a heavy ass accent. I'm saying straight up Haitian accent, and so they sent me to ESL classes. And the first thing they taught you was how to enunciate, and the teacher would say it to you all the time, and I got used to it, and I started speaking English very I'm gonna say it again, with intention. You know, I knew exactly the words that I was supposed to be using. Where I fell off was in high school. I went to a public high school, which, by the way, my brother went to public school. He did go to private school for a little bit. He got kicked out. I don't know that he wants that information to be spread out, but it's out there. Let me know. Holla at me. You know, if you need some more information on my brother. No, I'm just joking. But I don't know if his English. My brother sounds mad New York. You can, but he got a great education, whether it came from public or the private. To be honest with you, my brother at certain times got more education than I did because public school offered you and showed you a different side of things. But in any event, I spoke properly for those reasons because I number one, private school does, like, they shame you. And I'm not saying it in modern terms. Like people are like, oh my god, you got shamed. You need to go to see therapy. No, they shamed, to me. I felt like they shamed you in a good way. Like, yo, if you talk crazy, we're gonna let you know that shit is not acceptable. That's not the norm. You gotta learn how to speak where everybody can understand you. And I guess to a certain extent, I understood it. To a certain extent, I didn't understand it too, because I felt like when I went to high school, I seen, the white kids and the Asian kids, because I grew up in a predominantly Caribbean neighborhood, predominantly black neighborhood. So when I heard the other races talking, I heard their accents, heavy. And they were just as smart as me, if not smarter. So I felt like I got duped. My English, my New York accent got taken away from me because they wanted me to be an example to the rest of the world. Either that or I just never had it. But anyway, I got to. Again, like I said, I talk and I draw. I talk and I draw. I talk. That is my process. That is my process. That is what keeps me continuously going. Because when I talk to myself, I have a subject that I want to continue talking to myself about in my head. It keeps me active. And it keeps me sitting right here. I'm very antsy person. I like to get up and move. And that's the reason I talk on my phone. My wife hates it because I walk I pace back and forth, back and forth. All right. So I kind of went a little bit away of my idea, which again that's good because you know there's rules to drawing. You're gonna tell I don't follow 95%, but I know them. I know them well enough. I don't know what movie it was that I definitely remember it was a movie. I don't know what movie it was I saw, or it was a show or something, but I know it was something on TV where they said you gotta learn the rules to break the rules. I say it to my kids all the time. I understand what they mean by that. You got to know where you're going wrong. So if somebody try to call you out on it, number one, that's not totally what they were intending when they said it. But part of it is too, though, that you got to know kind of where you're coming from to get to where you're going, basically. But at the same time, you can then tweak it and implement your own thing. Like for instance, when I do the human anatomy, because I draw. It might look like I do cartoons only all the time, but that's because that's the easier thing to transition to when you're doing digital. It's like not no, I don't know if I will say that. It's whatever you transition to is the thing that you're more used to. I am more used to now drawing cartoons. Growing up, I used to draw nothing but comic book characters, comic book. Everybody thought I was gonna be a comic book artist, but they didn't understand that I was doing that because I wanted to learn anatomy. The best way for me to learn anatomy, I didn't even know that you could go to the library and see books of naked people and stuff like that. I only knew about anatomy because of Channel 13 that we had out here, and there was an art show that came on late nights, and part of it, why I watched this for perversional reasons, because I was a young kid, but the other reason why I watched it too was because they were making sense. They were making I went there for one reason and I came out with a totally different reason. They were showing a lot of things about like art and how to learn it. I was not learning it from, God rest her soul, Miss Wing, which was my art teacher in my grade school. She was not the best art teacher. No, I take that back a little bit. She was the best art teacher for encouragement. She always encouraged you to do. I just didn't like her style, and I didn't like her style of teaching. She did encourage you to continue doing your style, but I didn't like her way of teaching. I thought her way of teaching was very racist. I'm using the right word too. Very racist because she kind of gave you that feeling like, oh, you know, you're not bad for a black child. That's the kind of way she was for me. I don't know about other people, but for me, it's like she never gave me the feeling that she cared. Like it's almost like she felt like the way she made me feel. I don't know about everybody else. I don't want to talk for everybody else. People might have loved her, and I did love her too. I thought she was a great teacher. She was part of my history, part of my growing up. But I just think that I didn't know how to describe it when I was younger. But I felt that, and it wasn't just her. We had a few teachers that I felt like we praised them because they told us to praise them, literally. And the teachers that we should have, like, I'm gonna get down with it. I'm gonna be honest because like none of these teachers are watching my lives, and none of these teachers, none of you guys know, so I'm not gonna feel bad about it. But we had a teacher named Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly, from what I was told, I don't really know what her background was. I know she was in Just Black. She was she wasn't just black. She was mixed with something else. And I think part of the mixture, if the folklore is correct, is that she's also Indian, Native American. In any event, this teacher, her and Miss Smith, we used to detest those teachers. We thought they were the worst thing since sliced bread. Well, some of us, especially the bad kids. I was part of the bad kids. We did not like them because they were always on up our ass about you gotta hold yourself with pride. You have to be proud of who you are. Keep talking, right? But in reality, they were the best thing for us. And to be honest with you, some of the other teachers that I had those feelings for, I didn't understand what it was because it was clouded. Some of my teachers I had crushes on, so I had crushes on the teachers that were, I felt like, not down to teach me culture, and that's what my soul craved, you know. And then we also had a lot of nuns that were, again, it was, I'm not calling it racism, direct bigotry, not even, because bigotry is I understand what the word bigotry is. So they weren't bigots either. No, we had two teachers, Miss Pucciarelli and Miss Powderly. Both of those teachers were like, if there was a such thing as a, you know how they say, thin line between love and hate. So that's what I'm gonna say. I would say, if thin line between love and hate was a person, was two people, it would be Miss Powderly and Miss Pucciarelli. But how do you describe that? But they cared about us. They did. They cared about. I just think that they were older. They were a lot older. Both of them are not living. They cared about us though. They did everything with good intentions, but they didn't realize the hypocrisy in some of the things they said. But anyway, going back to Miss Kelly and Miss Smith. Shout outs to Miss Kelly and Miss Smith. I doubt they're even ever watching any of my lives. They don't even probably know my social medias and stuff like that. But shout out to Miss Kelly and Miss Smith. Were the best food for my soul as a kid. Miss Wing, she was a nice lady, but I think she was a nice lady because she had to be. But you could feel the separation, you know, the colored bathroom type of vibe with her. Like, you know, you're good, but you still need to be in the colored bathroom type of thing. And again, eventually one day people will understand my views on some of these things. I don't always think that racism is, yes, the conversation that goes on in my head by myself. I don't always think that racism is something that was naturally given. I think it's situational. I also think it is hereditary. And I also think it's taught. So all those things. Sometimes you can have some parents, I know a few people that are like, I used to work with them and they were racist, right? But you meet their parents, and their parents must hide it very well because their parents are not them. Their parents are they're like different. And I believe it. I believe that, and some views that I have in my life, my mom had taught me the opposite of it. You know, good, bad, or indifferent, my mom had taught me the opposite, but I formed my own decisions. That's why I say that sometimes people say that racism is taught. Sometimes it's not always taught. Sometimes it's, you know, through perception. Sometimes it's through a way of your mind coping with certain things that keep happening to you. If you're like in my situation, some of these teachers were, I don't want to say they were. They were. I'm not saying I don't want to say it's true. I think they were borderline racist. You know, but I think because of the environment that they were in, they just peppered in their ideas here and there. And why I brought that whole stuff up is because you learn rules of art through some of your most favorite Charles White was way dead before I made him my favorite artist. But his artwork taught me how to do black and white. His story was really dope. How this man this developed a stigmatism to paint, and he loved to draw. So he went from painting because he started giving him like discoloration of his hands and stuff like that. He went from painting to draftsmanship, and he became. I don't see other artists doing that. And I actually went that route a little bit. And I learned a few things with respect to inking from that. And I only did it because he's my favorite artist, and I want to follow the same thing he was doing. And he became a draftsman, and he learned draftsmanship and how to use the pencil and charcoal and all that stuff. You know, black and white, how to make a black and white image look like it has color. Awesome. And I learned through him. And this man was way dead by the time I started really developing a love for art. But you know, Keith Haring. Keith Haring is one of my favorite artists, top 5 artists. Keith Haring, and he's the one who did Crack is Whack, and he was way dead by the time I decided that I wanted to pursue being an artist, or at least not pursue being an artist, but to continue to draw like on a regular. 'Cause some of my good friends, they used to draw too. I think they did it because a lot of their friends were drawing, and then they stopped. And me, I continued. Whether it was for leisure, whether it was for profit. I didn't start drawing for real profit, until I was late into my 30s. So a lot of people, you know, thought that I was better than I was. But I didn't start doing all that stuff until, you know, I'm still discovering who I was as an artist, and I still am. So, you know, it's, you know, art. If you talk about art, you can talk about that for the rest of your life. I know I don't have that much time. Actually, I've been talking. Oh, it's only 6:19. I'm gonna end this at 6:30. But like I said, a lot of things when it comes to art is non-intentional, and a lot of artists want you to believe. Well, my view on it. I don't want to say that. But a lot of artists need you to believe. A lot of cocky artists, a lot of artists that are full of themselves, they like you to believe that all of it was intentional, done with intention, and it's not the case. It's not the case. You can fight me on it. I'll argue that till the day I die. It's not the case. 95% of the time, it is. None of it is done, you know, all the way intentional. Some of yes, you learn. Like to me, I feel there's a big difference between someone who's self-taught and someone who's been taught in a school background. And you get great artists out of both of them. But you sometimes you don't hear that from artists who have learned from schools and what have you. They don't want to admit that you know, yes, you like okay. I spent a lot of money on Photoshop and Illustrator, and then I found Affinity, and I tried so hard to find a reason why Affinity was not as good, all the Affinity products, but lo and behold, they were good. But all that time I wasted learning, you know what I'm saying? That feeling of regret, but sometimes that's what holds you back, because you can learn from something that might not be as good as what you was learning before. That's okay. How many times I have to start over? I'm starting over now. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 46 in April. 46. But the great thing about my character is because I'm so imperfect. I make so many mistakes that I'm okay with understanding that this is the path that I'm supposed to be on. Because it's like it feels natural. It feels like naturally. When I tell my kids I can't teach you what to do, I can only teach you what not to do because I've done it. You know, my kids they got a real one as a dad. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell them I did everything, and I did. I've done a lot of things that even they would never think about doing. But I've been around it. I've done it. I grew up in a big city. You can't change that. A lot of kids that grew up in big cities, by the time they're 15, 13 even, especially in this day and age, things have changed. You lived the life of a grown person already. You've lived the life. The only thing you need to do now is catch up with your age and actually be grown. And your mental needs to catch up too, because don't get it twisted. Just because you've done these things don't mean that you're mentally ready for it. Again, there you go. Another subject. My wife is probably having OCD and shit. I'm going through that subject. My wife is definitely like that. She's very intentional how she speaks. She does not like to sway and go into some categories and shit like that. That's too much. For me, I ramble. You know what I tell my kids is punishment? You know what my kids' punishment is? Me talking to them. My kids would rather me give them a whoop them and ask them how many times I've ever whipped them. Like, almost never. Maybe once or twice. They don't even remember. They're kids. They would rather an ass whoop, which they don't know, because ass whooping probably is dangerous. They would rather an ass whooping to get it over with than to hear me give a speech. That's all of them. All of them. I got 4 kids, and all 4 of them would rather their ass beat. That's messed up, man. Come on, man. Acknowledge that. But yeah, like, one thing I can't be is a hypocrite as an artist. Like I just feel like some things are by mistake, and that's okay, man. Like, it's not gonna take away from your bread. People are not gonna stop paying for your shit because you say, "Hey guys, guess what? 94% of the time I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." They don't care. They don't care because some of my mistakes would be the greatest thing for someone who's not as good as they think I am. See how I said that? Might not, it don't mean that I'm better than them, but sometimes in their mind, so you know, someone only has the power over you because of the power that you give them in your mental. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fact. Like, if you somehow let someone know that you're submissive to, you know, to them in some kind of way or another, it's very easy. For me, as a New Yorker, that's one of the gifts I think New York has blessed us. New York has not blessed New Yorkers with many gifts. We've had a lot of curses. But one of the best gifts that New York has blessed us with is the ability to read somebody fast. I can read whether somebody's scared of me or not. I can read whether somebody know my bullshit or not. I can read people quick. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big city thing, man. Like, yes, you might say, "Oh, I could do that shit too, and I'm from West Bubblefuck," but you are not the majority. You're the minority. You know? And so I can tell when someone is hanging off every word that I'm saying, and they don't check me on it. You know what I'm saying? And that becomes an attribute to me. And to me, I'm only as bad of an artist as I tell myself and I tell others. And same thing with somebody else. They're like, "Yo, I follow him because this son, know what the fuck he talking about?" Because this, nah, man, it's not. It's you can add to the knowledge that you already have. It don't mean that I'm the end all, because I might fuck up. And I'm saying it now. I'm saying that some of these things that I do as an artist, I have done it by mistake. Do I do it intentionally now? Yes. But I give credit to my mistakes openly. One thing I never did openly, I don't know why I never liked to do it, was to give credit to that's how I was gonna talk about it too. References. I don't know why. I just never liked it. Like, Arthur Adams is one of my favorite comic book artists. Like I said, I even said it. You know, Keith Haring is part of my top 10, and Arthur Adams as well, part of my top 10. So I can give you names now. Who's in my top 10? And Arthur Adams and John Byrne. These are artists that I literally copied their shit as a kid. Copied it. You would not be able to tell with my art that you see now, because I've developed what I like. I'm able to develop my style and the things that I like. Do I think I'm beneath Arthur Adams and John Byrne? Hell yeah, when it comes to certain things, because those dudes is masters, you know. But that's something that goes with work and time. They spent way more time in that. You know, I ended up having a child at a young age, and so I had more important things to do, like get a job fast, and it stopped me from growing as an artist. Do I think I could have ever gotten? Of course, potential is everything. So I had the same amount of potential that they had, but they did their thing, and I will give them that credit because they earned that right. But a lot of their stuff, but if any of them were to talk to me, you think blah blah blah, 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 I would tell them. I would tell them straight up. Some things I didn't like about their art, but that's okay. Like sometimes Arthur Adams would do only the cover of a magazine, and you could tell that he was not happy with that because he's even now. If you go on his Instagram, this dude likes to work. You could tell he wasn't pleased with it because the cover didn't come out so hot. Something about it. I never liked to see his work as a cover art because the cover art was nowhere near as good as the one that he did, where he did everything from the inside to the out. I think it's probably because he felt like, yo, I'm done. So you want it from me? Okay, I'm done. And of course I make this up in my head. But and I would tell him that. I'd say, yo, man, I liked your art when you did the whole thing. When you didn't do the whole thing, I felt like you was slacking, bro. Doesn't matter though. Like he, still it doesn't take credit from him at all. Like Magnolia is another one of my favorite top 10. Yes, they're comic book artists, but they do take space as some of my top 10 artists. You know what I'm saying? Like Magnolia did everything with intention, and when I went to go watch his live, one of the lives that he did, not live, it was just a thing that he put out there. The dude said exactly what I'm saying. I've had this mindset for a long time. He did all of the stuff that he did, and 95% of it was mistakes because you don't know what you're doing when you're creating. You know where your mind is. You know where your ideas is. Look, ideas is very important. Behind me, I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna wrap this up. With this thought here. Behind me is 3 of my art books that I keep around, and I like to draw with pen and a pad. I've always done that. I'm now watching this guy named Chrome. He has a tutorial, costs $150. I paid the whole $150. I like his style. I like his work, and sometimes you got to pay for what you like, especially if you want to get good. This guy's young, but if you look into his look, this is my art book. I have a lot of empty pages in here, but I still draw in other art books. For me, it's the feeling of it, Like I like to open up a new art book and draw something. Sometimes I might only have 1 piece in there, 2 pieces, but my intention is to go back to it and do more stuff, and I do that all the time. That's why sometimes I lose my art because I don't know which book that I did. These are 3 of my 25 books that I have, and there's drawings in each of these books. Some they're not all finished. Some of them are close to being finished, but I have ideas I throw up. Oh, you can't see it's too bright. Ideas I throw up on here and whatever it is. But that is the thing I learned about 6 or 7, maybe even about 10 years ago. I learned this, that even if it's a dumb idea, even if it's dumb, draw it, put it down on paper, write words next to it. And it's funny because the lesson that I just paid $100 and something for, the dude said the same thing I already knew. I didn't learn this from anybody. I learned it from myself. That just draw in your book. I when it comes to art, I have such manic depression about it because I spend a lot of days absorbing other people's good things and bad things, intentions and all that shit. Like art is very near and dear to me, and I'm very passionate about it. And sometimes I'm too passionate about it, and it absorbs my life. I did a whole finish, paid, you hear me? Paid image for a client in one of these sketch books. And it's because for me, it's nothing fancier. This book is not any more fancier than this book. It's just a means of me putting my ideas down on paper. And somehow, sometime, someone will say to me, "Yo, bro, I just want that. Just give me that." 95% of my problem is this: is that I'm not open with people about my vices. Somebody might say, "Yo, I don't even think you did my work, did you?" And I'm like, and it's like it's almost like I'm a kid. They gotta force it out of me. I'm very passionate about my work because I feel like I'm not that good. But that's why I named my company Humble King, because that's good. I think that if I ever got to the point where I felt like my artwork was that good, I would not be humble about it. And I think humility is what keeps you going. I think humility is what keeps you from going too far, you know, because sometimes some people do go too far. I've met on Instagram, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this, and my what you call it, my commercials at the end, my disclaimers. First of all, please, I have to say it. Whether it's two, whether it's five, whether it's zero, I'm gonna always say it. Please like and subscribe. It's gonna help me out. Right now, my channel is very small, and I need a bigger platform. Yes, I do need to find a way to make more income, passive income. And this is it. I don't want to, I don't want to sell drugs. I don't want to rob nobody. I don't want to do. I want to use the gifts that God gave me, right? So I met a lot of my favorite artists. That was one of the worst mistakes I could have ever done. I met a lot of my favorite artists because of IG. IG has given you the opportunity to meet some of these guys that are accomplished. Can't take it away from them. Hardworking, accomplished. But sometimes that shit will go to, and they explain why they are the way they are sometimes. I don't give a fuck. Don't care. There's no cause to treat you, because you might be talking about a guy that treated you like shit, and you have to be defensive towards that person. But then you gotta bring yourself back, because if that was the case, I'm a very aggressive dude. Very. If I treated everybody as I treat anyone who's done me wrong, then that would be bad on my part. I'd have to find a way to fix that. Some of these artists, man, the vanity is awful, and it's not even just like visual artists. Sometimes some people that you like their work, their lyrical skills, or this, that, there. I think the good thing about me though is I can separate the two. I still follow them. I don't unfollow them. I still support them. But I don't I don't engage with them, because I'm not gonna learn anything from them by engaging with them. They're so far off in their head, their mind. They feel so much. You should have confidence. Always exude confidence. But you got to be humble too. You got to mix the both. All right. So here is my takeaway from today. Long ass live. They're all gonna be like this. I'm wild. Please learn how to go on. If you're gonna go live, learn how to do these things behind the scenes. But if you do intend to just jump into it, then okay, add it to your show. Show everybody where the mistakes came from, so that you can help somebody else. First takeaway. I do like to do takeaways. Second takeaway is, do not get angry when you do something with intention and it does not come out correctly. Do not be, and I'm still learning this. I'm giving this advice, but I'm still learning this myself. Do not be discouraged by that. Just start. You say you're gonna do something, just start. Just start it and finish it. All my life, that's what been my problem. I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna continue to do this, whether it is or it isn't. It has to be known. And the final takeaway is, don't be an asshole. Nobody likes an asshole. Even though some people might say, "Oh, I like him because he's so blunt." No, you don't. You're saying it because you're wondering why more other people don't like me. Not me per se, but the person that's an asshole. Don't be an asshole. Be nice to everybody who supports you. Even if it's somebody that asks you the same question over and over and over again. Trust me, even before I started doing this here, I talked to a lot of people online. I talked to a lot of people a lot. And sometimes I might be the one asking the same question, but for the most part, a lot of people ask me the same question over and over. I answer the same way I answered the first person, you know, because they literally want to know, and maybe they missed out on the first time when you answered it. All right, so like, subscribe, please support. Um, these are the Humble King stickers. These are the stickers. This is my brand logo. This is the logo for my company. I did not do the artwork for this. The gentleman that did do the artwork for this, I have to talk to him to see if he is even still doing that. He's really great with letters and all stuff, and I wanted it to be, I wanted this style. I suck at lettering, you know, so you gotta know your limitations. But this is the first sticker in my monthly stickers. Each sticker here costs $3. Shipping and handling on me, obviously, for $3. Yes, I do know that's very high price, but it's to support me, to support my channel. I am also not going to forget those who have supported. I will do raffles, giveaways, this and the third, without, I'm sorry, I said without, with prejudice to those who have started helping me out in the beginning. But I'm gonna add more stickers to the $3 sticker pack. For now, it's only the one sticker, but again, you're only doing it, just know you're doing it to support someone's habit, someone's lifestyle, someone's talent. I've done it plenty of times for others, and I just wanted to pay it forward. I want it to be paid forward to me as well, because I do need that to keep this going. I will also be creating regular reviews on products that I use here. I have a lot of technology in here, and I'll do giveaways and prizes and stuff like that. Right? So just pass on the word to everybody else out there. I appreciate those who stuck around. I appreciate those who subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I'm out. Thank you again